This is Kimberly from Lakeside Loops, and today I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful herringbone crochet hat. Can you believe that this is crochet? This is one of my favorite stitches. I also have a herringbone crochet bag pattern for summer if you're interested in that look. This hat is really easy to make up, and I also have a mitten pattern that goes with it, so keep an eye out on my YouTube channel for that as well. For this pattern, you will need a 7mm crochet hook, some scissors, of course, depending on what you want to use to top your hat, either a faux fur pom-pom or a yarn pom-pom. And I used, of course, the most important ingredient is the yarn. I used Lion Brand's Woolies Quick and Thick. It's a super bulky size 6 yarn. Any super bulky yarn will work, but I really like how this turned out with the Lion Brand yarn. You will also need the pattern for this hat. This video tutorial will just cover the basics, any parts that you may have questions about. The full free pattern is on my website, lakesideloops.com. You can find everything that you need there, the yardage, different sizes. You can make this from baby all the way up to adult large sizes. Everything you need to know is on the website. You can also go to Etsy or Ravelry and download a PDF pattern for this hat. So that's a printable, downloadable version of the pattern that you can get from Etsy or Ravelry, or you can go to my website, lakesideloops.com, to get the free version. All right, so this hat is worked in rows from side to side. You're making a giant rectangle. Once you're done your rectangle, you're going to fold it in half and seam it together. And then you're going to close off one end, which will form the top of your hat. So it's a pretty simple way to make a toque. So for row 1, your beginning chain length is on the website. Depending on which size you're making, you're going to have a different beginning chain. I'm just doing a very small beginning chain because I'm going to make a very small little sample of what the stitches are like so that we can try to make this video tutorial short and sweet. So make your beginning chain. Again, the numbers are on the website. And then you're going to single crochet in the second chain from your hook. So this is your first chain, your second chain, a single crochet. And then the rest of the stitches in this row are the herringbone single crochet. The herringbone single crochet is worked as follows. So you need to insert your hook into the front bar of your previous stitch. So this is my single crochet, and this right here is considered the front bar. So we're going to insert our hook into there and then into our next stitch. Now we're going to grab our yarn, pull it through the stitch, and we're going to bring it up, draw it up as high as we can. We want to make this nice and loose. So you see how it's almost as high, if not higher, than my single crochet. I'm going to grab my yarn and pull it through all 3 loops. That's a herringbone single crochet. So again, we're going to insert our hook into the previous stitch's front bar, so right into here, and then into our next stitch. Grab our yarn and pull it through and draw it up really high, and then grab our yarn and pull it through all 3 loops. So again, in here, into the stitch, grab the yarn, pull it up high, grab the yarn and pull it through all 3. So we're just going to do that until 1 stitch remains, and then the last stitch in our row is a little bit different. So for this last stitch, I've inserted my hook into my front bar of my previous stitch. I'm going to insert it into my last chain. I'm going to grab my yarn, and this time I'm going to pull it through the stitch and pull it up through all the loops that were on my hook. So it's kind of like a little slip stitch at the end. Alright, so for row 2, we've turned our work, chained 1, and this time we're going to be working, instead of this way, we're going to be working from the back to the front. So we're working from behind. You want to make sure that your yarn is toward the front of your work, not back here, so bring that to the front. And then you're going to insert your hook into the stitch, but also into the back bar, which is this stitch right down here. So you'll have the stitch and also the back bar on your hook. So again, the stitches you can see running all along the top here, and right down here is the back bar. So for this whole row, we're going to be working into the stitch and the back bar. So you insert your hook into all three. So you're going to have sort of your loop here, and then also sort of 3 loops on your hook there. You're going to grab your yarn, pull it through, and make a nice and loose single crochet. Now we're going to be working the herringbone single crochet into the following stitches. So you're going to go, again, we're working from the back to the front, so you're going to go into the back and go into your previous stitch's front bar, and then into the stitch, into the back bar, grab your yarn, pull it up through nice and high, and then grab your yarn and pull through all 3 loops. So I'm going to show you that again. So into the front bar of your previous stitch, into the stitch and the back bar, grab your yarn and pull it up nice and high, grab your yarn again and pull it through all 3 loops. And that is going to create the herringbone look on this side of our work. This side will not have a herringbone look to it. So I'm going to work that a little more to the end. And again, when we get to the end, the very last stitch is a little bit different. So you're going to continue to do this until you get to that last stitch. I hope that this is making sense and making this more clear for you. All right, now this last stitch is our chain 1. So at the end of every row, we're going to have a chain 1 that we're going to be working into. So you're going to insert your hook into that front bar from your previous stitch, insert it into the chain, grab your yarn and pull it through the chain, and then pull it through the other loops on your hook. So again, it's like a slip stitch at the end. Then you're going to chain 1 and turn for row 3. Now row 3, you're going to be single crocheting your first stitch, and again you're going to be going into the stitch but also into the back bar. So you want all of that on your hook, grab your yarn and pull it through and complete your single crochet. Now you're going to go into the previous stitch's front bar, into the stitch and into the back bar. Grab your yarn and pull it through up nice and high, and then yarn over and pull through all 3 to complete your herringbone single crochet. So again, you're just going to be herringbone single crocheting into that stitch in the back bar all the way down until you have 1 stitch left in your row. And once you get past the first couple of rounds, this will sort of become second nature and become really easy to use. This hat works up really quickly because the yarn is so bulky, and I love the look of this stitch. Remember to pull this up and keep this nice and loose. And then again, your last stitch is going to go into that chain 1 from your previous row, and you're going to sort of make it a little slip stitch. So you can see that that's working up. You're just going to repeat the second and third rows until you reach the desired length. And again, everything is in the written pattern. I tell you exactly where to stop and how to make the hat after you've completed your rectangle, which I will show you more of in 1 second. So this next part is pretty easy. Once you've finished your big long rectangle, and again, in the pattern it says exactly when to stop, you're going to fold your rectangle in half. So I've taken my first row and I've brought it up to my last row, and you're going to flip this around, and you're just going to be slip stitching your last row to your first row to join the side of your hat together. So this will become the side of your hat, and then we'll close up this end to become the top and leave this end open to be the bottom. You want to make sure that your beautiful herringbone pattern is facing in on itself and your wrong side or bad side is facing out toward you, because we're going to join all of this together with it inside out, and then we'll flip it out to reveal the herringbone once we've done everything, once we've joined this side and closed off this top. All right, so just to show you again, this is a pretty painless part of the process. You're just slip stitching through these stitches on this side and into your beginning row on this side. And once you've joined your side, you're going to cinch the top of one end of your hat together. That's going to form the top of your hat, leaving the other end open to be the bottom of your hat. And once you've turned your hat right side out, even if the top is a little bit messy, that's okay, because you're going to be adding a pom-pom to cover that up, so you won't even be able to tell. And once you have tied off the top of your hat, you can add your favorite faux fur or yarn pom-pom to finish things off. I really hope that you enjoyed this video tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. I would love if you'd subscribe to my YouTube channel, and that way you won't miss any new patterns that are coming out. I would also love to see your pictures on social media, so don't forget to tag me at Lakeside Loops. Bye guys.